Welcome everyone to Bango. Welcome home. At, in this episode 5, I can't believe we've made it to 5 episodes at this point. Bango is going to go ahead and finish Durotar. So this is an exciting moment here for everyone, especially for me, because I have leveled through the first kind of area of the original Horde leveling zone. And here we are. We're leveling up and moving through and making our way to the Crossroads, which is ultimately where I want to end up. So this part here is kind of exciting. I'm talking to Got the Enforcer and Shin, and we realize that at this moment we are no longer in the old school WoW kind of space, and these are some of the post Cataclysm leveling areas. So we've got two things happening, which I think are really interesting because when I played the original Barrens kind of Durotar area, we had to go not rescue, but like, what was it? Like tether these like electric um, lizards, so to say. So that was a quest that is no longer available. So that comes up later as I'm watching this now, realizing no, it's actually I have to do this quest where I have to go as like a wolf, and silly me, the quest giver says you need to go east and find the Kodo meat, and I immediately go west and travel for a period of time. I'm checking the map, like, wait, you silly goose, you have gone in the completely wrong direction. So I'm like traveling this way. I go to Thunder Ridge. I see all these elementals, and I'm like, wait, I'm looking for like lost Kodos, and I don't find them. And I continue to move in this direction. I go in the water. I think I cut it at some point here, but I'm pretty sure like I go across the way to the Barrens. Yeah, and it turns me in back into my troll form. And I do go through a moment of just like, wait, I don't understand what's happening. Okay. So I guess I don't make it all the way over there. But I go, oh yeah, I went in the wrong direction. So that was, yeah. He said it best. I went west. So that was kind of talking. So here we go. I fix that. I fix it. Welcome back to World of Warcraft. I fix that, and then I continue to move in this direction. This is a new quest. This was not available to me as a old school WoW player. I'm watching the Kodos fight each other, which I think is like a kind of an interesting idea, right? Like I think it's cool when they bring to life, NPCs and mobs that you're supposed to be fighting, and you go, wait a minute, like that's like the world is alive, and I appreciate those things. I feel like we've lost that space a little bit in the newer WoW expansions. But that's a fun space to be in, where we go, hey, like the world's alive, like let's engage in the WoW in WoW as it is. Level up, hitting the level 12. I'm really cooking at this point, trying to be, um, you know, trying to feel like I'm a rogue. And I talked to this guy. He gives me an upgrade, which I'm very excited about. And then I go back to the space that I was originally in as the wolf. I work my way back there, and I do think that, though, in hindsight, the way that these, the Durotar quests and as I'm recording this, I recently just finished up some of the Crossroad and Barrens quests. The way that the game has been much more um, segmented, right? It used to be you would take a couple quests and you finish that area, but if you missed a quest or you like kind of misaligned the way that you approached a questing area, it would kind of throw you off. and you were supposed to have 5 quests, but maybe you only did 3, and then you go back, you turn a couple quests, and you got 2 extra quests. You got to go back to that one area. You got 4 quests that lead you to a new area. This space is a little bit different, so I appreciate that. This moment here, especially for me and for Bango, was a little disheartening. This used to be an area where you would go and it was not filled with water. So this must be a post Cataclysm kind of space where the Thunder Lizards were enemies that you fought. And this guy that we're about to fight here, what was his name? Fizzle. He was a little goblin guy, and he get his claw. And he was really challenging. At this point, he's drowned, and I think that's like, it's a cool way to keep the game going. But I also think, like, if you didn't play pre-Cataclysm WoW, if you didn't fight this enemy, if you didn't understand, you know, what you were facing and how the challenges of the original, you know, classic WoW or even TBC or Wrath of Lich King was, you don't kind of appreciate this space. I appreciate it. I think it's really cool. But I could be wrong. Like, maybe, you know, maybe this is just like a better way to approach this early leveling, this early zone leveling. I think it's interesting. So here I am. I forget exactly how the quest language was espoused, but I'm supposed to be like letting them know that, hey, these like Thunder Lizards drowned and they're pulling them back up. But you know, back in the day, you fought these guys and you killed them, or should I say, they killed you. So we work that and we make our way back up. I was kind of disappointed. This was, I actually remember this was like a level 12 quest. That guy was level 12. I hope that I'm not wrong, and the comments can let me know if I was wrong, but I feel like that was like a low level, or like higher level quest for that particular area. I spent a lot of time in this video. You can watch in the unedited version of the end of Durotar video. I spent a lot of time leveling, skinning, leveling, cooking, doing a variety of things. So I spent a lot of time there. I killed a lot of boars and scorpions, and I made my way back to this guy. And these two jabronis, Gore and Shin, they're like in a space of, they both kind of hate each other. So I turn to my quests, getting levels up. I'm getting, I think I'm leveling up my horde factions, get some armor, which is great because there's literally like 20 people in the server, so I'm just leveling up as best as I can, and taking armor. But my leather crafting is at its peak, and so quest items are great, but I think ultimately I'm gonna not use them. I think I'm gonna use my leveled up items. So I find these guys. They're out here in kind of the middle of nowhere. I accept both these quests here. Obviously, you're about to watch that kind of happen. And I think this is a cool space too, because the Skull Rock and Burning Legion quests existed back in the day, and they opened up Ragefire Chasm. I'm not going to be able to run my quest, my dungeon experiences. There's just like not enough people in the server. I think maybe at some point I might consider switching. But I'm trying to work my way through the quest lines, and I come up to this coastline quest, and this is a new quest for me, and I actually think this is kind of cool. So I had these 3 dudes, 3 different mobs that exist there, and this guy, he's a slave owner, and they're all his slaves. So I accept these quests. I don't remember this being a thing. I don't even remember this area at all. I I think there might have been like one Tauren here, like one like orc that was like trying to give a quest, but I don't necessarily remember what the deal was. Like I said, you got bags. Like I'm I'm kind of running out of space. I'm like, Brute, like you don't have anything available. Yes, you're kind of a jerk. You are a slave owner, and I go to these guys. So this is oh god, what are they? A worgen, right? I don't really have many issues with the NPCs or the PCs, so I kind of easily rip my way through these guys. But this is all new, and I think this is kind of cool. Like these are the kind of like, I guess, world building quests, I guess you could say, that kind of exists in WoW at this point. But I don't really know like what kind of story they possess, other than just like, hey, this is like a little thing that happens outside of the major story arc, that you're just like, hey, these are characters that exist and the world exists, and it's fun to kind of think about, hey, there's like slave traders in WoW, and that sucks. And how do we fix that? How do we as WoW players like fight these little NPCs that do their things? Um, I wish I could kill this guy. He's a slave trading jerk. But I can't. So I do his quest, and I kind of, move on forward. What I will say is, oh, that's right. He told me I could do this for 10 silver, but he only gave me 7 silver. That's kind of funny. That's poor writing on behalf of Blizzard. I was gonna say, what I would say is something that is really cool about WoW is like, or as I'm replaying, is like there are these like little segmented parts of just like, hey, we're like doing this thing and we exist, and they're less like story tied. As I'm replaying Midnight, like there are like little um like establishments that you work through, and they like tie into the bigger story, but that literally has nothing to do with anything. And I think that that's kind of fun and kind of interesting. And here I am, Bango, working his way back into the greatest horde city, greatest World of Warcraft city of all time, Orgrimmar. I go to the oh yeah, Gammon. Gammon was there. I said hi to him. I used to have to kill him back in the day. That was a quest, right? So I go back. I spent some time at the auction house. There's not a whole lot of things going on. I put some items up for bid. I looked, and I think I purchased a couple bags. I feel like as an early WoW player, purchasing bags is always the ultimate best decision, just because questing is so exhausting. You go out and you quest forever, and your bags fill up incessantly. So it's always a good time to try and fill up those bags and make that work. So that's what I'm doing here, and then I go back, and I'm not like talking to the leatherworking trainer, but I'm trying to build that up. As you watch these uncut versions of my leveling, I do spend quite a bit of time leveling up my skills, just because there's literally at any given time I log in, there's no more than 30 players on at any one time. So the auction house is a ghost town. Everything is empty, and I'm just trying to make my character as self-sustainable as possible. And so every time I come across like this right here, I come across a boar, I come across a raptor, a zebra, I am smoking them just so I can gain the leatherworking or leathers in order to move forward. This right here is the skull rock, which I was like, it's my final moment here trying to make this happen. And look, this because of the Mists of Pandaria expansion, all of these Korkron and grunts and soldiers are fighting them, which I will say I found kind of interesting because as we're fighting them, they're level 90, and everyone else is like level somewhere between like 7 and 10, and the Korkron level 90s did like 0 damage to the quest characters, which I thought was interesting. I think it's just like a scaling issue, but it made me think, especially because I know what happens at the end of this expansion, and the Korkron guys are kind of bums that work for Garrosh. Yeah, so I'm working my way through. I finish up all the quests. I make my way back here. Like I said, I don't remember these guys from the original game. Like I said, there might have been like one orc that was out here that I think you got some quests from if you had ventured this far. Stay tuned for my hardcore Bango run that will experience this world. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've experienced kind of this space, but they're living in that world, and I'm trying to make my way to kind of understand it. So at this point, I go back to Orgrimmar. I've turned in on my quests. I'm kind of looking through my quest log. It wants me to go to Ashura. I'm just like, bro, I'm not going there. You know what I need to do. Everybody that has ever played WoW, all signs point to the Barrens. Like, that's where we're going. Throwing a Hearthstone. We're rocking our way into Razor Hill. I hit up the last kind of necessary characters and trainers, and I get the last bit of things that I need, and I'm feeling really good. I've experienced Sinjin. I've experienced Razor Hill. I've gone up to, I guess I'm sorry, it finished up Razor Hill. I've done all the northern Durotar things. I have equipped myself with the leatherworking trainers and skills, and I've got fishing. I'm trying to think of all the things that I've done, and I'm ready to go to the Barrens. Bango's ready. I'm ready. And I think at this point, we just make it happen. So stay tuned, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.